Good evening, everyone. Today I'm gonna be, I believe, finishing off the rest of Theramore and Dustwallow Marsh. I did go back to Theramore to turn this in. The Black Shield, something for me to look at. Interesting piece of iron you have here. Definitely not made by any of the blacksmiths I know over on this side of the sea. Certainly not my work. Ah, I almost missed this. The leather strap on the back must have burned off, but it seems like it was made to fit a large person. Guess a Tauren, actually. That's about all I can tell you. Tell Captain Vims I'm sorry I couldn't be of more help. Yes, he is up in the center building. Wait, no he's not. He's in the inn. Or whatever this building is. Citadel.
Well met. For the Alliance.
It's not much information to work on, but we'll have to keep it in mind. Hopefully, some of the other pieces of this mystery will fall into place and paint a more helpful picture of what happened.
Light bless you.
And then I think I have one, yep, all the way over there. I don't know if there's gonna be any follow-ups once I turn that in. But I'm probably gonna head to Ungoro Crater. Sorry for the background sounds. Someone's driving there on the Pacific. I think I'm gonna just swim across. Since it worked pretty well the last time. Rather than running all the way around on foot. And these quests I can't get unless I kill Onyxia. Which I'm not necessarily able to do on my own, so I will do those quests eventually when I'm able to. I was hoping there was a path that was easy enough to find. And it looks like I lucked out. So I pretty much followed this trail kind of to the entrance of the zone. I should be able to easily get across here. Oh yeah, it's that, one of those towers. Oops. Hey, wait a minute. All right. We surrender. Just put your weapons down. I'll cooperate. Did Vims send you? Couldn't do his dirty work himself, could he? Breathe? Howard, we threw him out of camp because he insisted on raiding the supplies of the ogres up at Brackenwell Village. We're not so many in number that we could stand up to those mindless brutes. He crossed the line one too many times, so we left him to fend for himself. Now, I'll help you out, so why don't you help us out and forget you bumped into us? He's gonna send me back. Yep. Get back to Theramore. If only I were a mage with a port. Suppose I'll follow the trail, since it'll take me to the one that goes through the mountains to the water that I have to swim through to get back to Theramore. Which is right back here, I believe. Somewhere? Yeah. Oh. Not quite, but it's close enough. thresher. This look a little steep to walk up, so I'll just port over here, I suppose. And let's see what he has to say.
For the Alliance.
I will send Lieutenant Caldwell to deal with the deserters at Lost Point. In addition, I will instruct him to find Wreath. The marsh is not so big, trackless, that he should be unable to find him. A grim connection. I've spoken with Inspector Tarum regarding the evidence you've gathered from the ruins of the Shady Rest Inn. He seems certain of prints and the shield found there point to the grim totem clan of Torrent. With reports of grim totem activity on the rise in the marsh, this has to be more than a mere coincidence. I'm sending you to speak with Captain Darrell, who is something of an expert on the grim totems. Follow the road north out of town to North Point Tower. It's the second outpost on the road.
Be careful.
So maybe it is kind of like Eastern Plaguelands, where there's like a little bit to do at each tower. I feel like I vaguely remember this quest, and I think it sends me kind of outside Dustwallow. I can't remember where it sends me. Possibly Desolus, but I could very easily be wrong. Oh, excuse me. It's getting late here, so I am getting a little sleepy. Interesting. I wonder why she's there. Captain Vims thinks the Grim Totems are behind the destruction of the Shady Rest Inn. They wouldn't have been first on my list of suspects, but if Captain Vims sent you here to follow up on a lead, he must have his reasons. Regardless, the Grim Totems have been a thorn in our side for some time, and we're always glad to have extra help. Confirming the suspicion. The Grim Totems may be the most warlike of all the Tauren clans, but they're by no means unorganized. If they're the ones who put the torch to the Shady Rest Inn, have the orders from one of their clan elders. There's a large Grim Totem settlement called Blackhoof Village to the northwest. They've been using it as a base to attack the tower, but I'll bet that you'll find the orders you're looking for there. Check the village's elders for traces of the orders you seek. Arms of the Grim Totems. If the equipment you found at the ruins of the inn belonged to a Grim Totem attack party, there's likely to be more just like it within their camp to the northwest. We haven't been able to gather much information about the Blackhoof village, but judging by the size of the raiding parties, there's a substantial force based there. Do whatever you have to capture some of their equipment so that we can compare it with your findings from the inn. Maybe it doesn't send me outside of the zone. I might be thinking of the quest in Westfall. I feel like there's a very similar quest in Westfall. It's just the elders that I think I had to kill. Which none of these are. I need 4 pieces of notes. And combine the Grim Totem notes. I have sent you a force of considerable size, Elder. but you must take care in your activities. Your first priority will be to halt the advance of the Alliance curs into our lands. Some of the more adventurous humans have already started the construction of a large building on the border with the Barons. See to it that they know their kind are not welcome beyond the borders of their wretched Theramore. Lastly, a word of caution to you, Elder. Do not make your plans known to the ogres of Brackenwall. Those brutes are incapable of even the slightest hint of discretion. Confirming the suspicion, were you able to find any trace of the orders? Captain Darrell glances at the battle plan. I'd say it doesn't get any clearer than this. They've taken it upon themselves to fight back against human settlements in the area, and I have little doubt Theramore is next on their list. Arms of the Grim Totems. Did you get those weapons from Blackhoof Village? Captain Darrell inspects the armaments you've brought from Blackhoof Village. There's no doubt about it. These match the description exactly. But there's just one problem. These have never been used in battle. Blackhoof Village must not be the only Grim Totem post in the marsh. Tabetha's assistance. I can't spare any men to help search for a second Grim Totem outpost, but I think I know of someone who might be able to help you. Deep in the quagmire, to the south, there is a special farmstead owned by Tabetha. She may seem little more than an old hermit, but the truth is that she's a mage and a scryer of some renown. Follow the road south to her farm and seek her help in finding the culprits responsible for the massacre at the Shady Rest Inn. So it's a little strange, like it seems like it's the Grim Totems, obviously, but he doesn't think that it was that encampment of Grim Totems. Which is a little off to me. Or if she's gonna send me, like, to the Barons or anything. She meaning Tabetha. mean, she did send me all the way to, what was it? Zulfarak for a tiara. So she might send me out of the zone again. Pretty much just a straight shot along here. Tabetha's assistance. So, you want me to scry for grim totems, eh? And what will you say when I tell you there's no need?
Go with honor, friend.
Raise Direhorn Post. There's no scrying necessary to see the troubles my new, quote, neighbors are creating. And if this is the band that burnt down the Shady Rest Inn, as you claim, there's no reason to tolerate their presence any longer. Take this torch and raise their camp to the ground. You'll find Direhorn just to the north of my farm. You can't miss it, really, as the Grim Totems have done a splendid job of announcing their presence with those totems they favor.
Farewell.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious what she's referring to. I'm burning a tent. I think I'm burning the whole village down. Jesus. Do I have to get in it? Yeah, pretty much. That was weird. Alright, let's flee the scene of the crime and let Tabetha know that we burned a village to the ground. Do you ever stop and wonder if you're the bad guy? Because some of these quests have me asking if I'm on the right side.
Need something? Safe travels.
Have you put that torch to good use?
Light bless you.
I hope the Grim Totems got the message. Any attempt to return will be met with far worse than a mere torch. My apprentices and I will see to that.
Go with honor, friend.
Justice for the Hyles. Although these Grim Totems were simply a nuisance to me, Captain Vims will want to know your deeds. Bring him the news that you have tracked down and dealt with those responsible for the burning of the shady Rest Inn. It's too late to save Jim Hyle's family, but perhaps the Grim Totems will think twice before attacking anyone connected to Theramore.
Farewell.
I think I'm gonna do the same thing I did before and just kind of swim across. I think it's actually off to this side. Yeah, I went off to the wrong side before. Not that it really makes a whole lot of difference. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be the end of Dustwallow Marsh once I turn this in. Why does it do that? Yeah, I feel like that's way faster than running all the way around Dustwallow Marsh. Justice for the Hyles. The captain listens to your report intently. We have avenged James and his family, but not even that can restore what was destroyed. Peace at last. Wish we had a way of letting James Hyle's wife and son know that we have brought their murderers to justice. Captain Vims produces a small wreath decorated with flowers. There are some who say that their spirits will know, even if we cannot reach them. It's not much, but I'd like you to lay this wreath, the Hyles family monument. It's one of the larger stones in the graveyard, just north of the Theramore gates.
Be careful.
Oh yeah, I remember this part. And then you see their Ghosts. Spoilers. I can just not get caught on tables and such. Making a wreath. James? James. No, you're not James, but I know who you are. You're the one who tracked down the brutes who did this to us. I tried so hard to tell Jim, to tell anyone who was behind this, but I couldn't find a way. Thank you for helping us and for helping Jim. If you see him, tell him little Jimmy and I love him and that we're waiting for him. Mommy, when will we see Daddy again? I don't know when we'll see Daddy again, Jimmy, but I know he loves you and he misses you very much.
What can I do for you? Go with honor, friend.
Captain Vims smiles slightly as you relate the events you witnessed at the Heil family grave. It's good to know that they understand. You didn't tell them about James, did you? I'll deliver his wife's message to him, but I doubt he'll understand.
Light bless you.
Alright, so that is the end of Dustwallow Marsh. I think now I'm going to fly over to Ungoro Crater. Well, I'm gonna fly to Gadgetsan and run to Ungoro Crater, I guess. I think, since I'm at about 40 minutes, I think what I'm gonna do is turn in the quest that I have here and end the video because I know that he offers a couple of quests, so I will start my next video by picking those up and reading those out. trying to remember if there is a flight path in Ungoro Crater. Yeah, I can barely see it under that, but yeah, there is. I just didn't pick it up. Which is definitely something that I will be doing in the next video. I'm sure there's going to be at least one quest in Ungoro Crater that's going to send me somewhere else. So I would be intelligent to pick that up to make that a little easier to get back. Of course, I have to run through the weird bug nest areas that I love so much. I can't remember if there was an ending to that quest from Daenerys where it was talking about how bad and dangerous the Silithid are. Because I remember one of the goblins sent me to Darnassus to talk to one of the Night Elf leaders, and I feel like she was pretty much just like, yeah, you know, the Horde and Alliance are just bickering too much to listen about how dangerous these are. But, you know, maybe we'll figure it out. And I feel like that was the end of the quest. Maybe she sent me... I think I have a quest. Oh wait, yeah. Okay, yeah. I think it's that. I think she was just kind of like, oh, well, here, let this one person know, and, good luck. Alright. Torwa Pathfinder. You have traveled far to meet with me, Druid. A moment too soon. So, I'm gonna end this video here, and I'm gonna start the next video by going through all these and pretty much picking up everything I can, everything I can in Ungoro Crater. So if you made it this far in the video, I'd love if you'd consider liking and or subscribing. And I hope you guys have a good night and sweet dreams. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye guys!